Now we are on session 18, Genesis 38. We are continuing Genesis 38 through 41, 4 chapters that we're going to cover overview of them. We're not going to go through verse by verse, but we'll hit some important verses. But it's the story of Joseph. Now he's sold into slavery. Then he's purchased by an Egyptian and put in charge of his whole house. Then he gets tempted by the master's wife to go to bed with him. He gets thrown into prison. Then it's a couple of dreams, a dream of a baker, a dream of the cupbearer, eventually the dream of Pharaoh. And Joseph is able to relate all of those to the people, what the meaning is, being accurately. And then he gets him put in charge of the whole of Egypt. It's such an immense contrast to go from one end of slavery to the second to Pharaoh, and just how God uses things like that. When you think about the pain that we go through, what comes to your mind as far as its purpose or its value, and relating that to Joseph?
Of course, it's hard to think about this in the moment when you're facing the hardship.
Oh, sure.
We're fine with God using our hardship as long as it's someone else. Or we're fine with God using our hardship if we can pick and choose what hardship. But as we see throughout the scriptures, God using what man intends for harm and rebellion towards God, and we certainly see it in the story, God will use for good.
Yeah.
I think the most important question that we can answer is, why would God do that? Why? And the answer is because he always has our greater good in mind. He always has eternity in mind.
Right. And even if he has to bring us through some physical trial here and now, it has a value that is far bigger than what we are currently living in. And I love how Genesis reflects that about Joseph. And Joseph calls the name of his firstborn Manasseh. God has made me forget all of my hardships. And then he calls his secondborn Ephraim. God has made me fruitful. And it's the Lord that takes that which is immensely painful and can use them for his good and his glory.
Absolutely.